Namaste. So in my last physical practice offering, I instructed you in Gomukhasana, cow face, arms. So we can link these two together because this recording is about Gomukhasana, cow face, legs. So in Gomukhasana legs, the legs are externally rotated. It's a seated posture and you get this lovely stretch to the buttocks and outer hip. So before we come into that seated position, we're going to warm up the hips and just open the hip area. So you're going to start in standing and have the feet wide apart and allow the feet to turn out. So the thigh bone in the hip joints rolling out. Now, have the tailbone nice and long so you feel the lower back lengthening and opening. The shoulder blades slide down the back and there's an upward lift through the crown of the head. And you can imagine that you're leaning against an imaginary wall and you start to slide down. As you slide down, you think about the inner thighs rolling out. Weights even on the soles of the feet. So that's the ball of the foot, the space below the little toe and the centre heel. And you want to keep the lower back nice and open. So in this position, we're just going to move into cat-cow. So that's flexion and extension of the spine. So you might want to bring your arms up to, this is cactus arms. And you breathe in and you can turn the sit bones back, lengthen belly, heart open, throat look up. And on the exhalation, you tuck the bottom under. So the tailbone tucks under, you round through the spine and chin comes to chest and you bring your arms to hug your body. So you breathe in, turn sit bones up, length opening to front body, exhaling, rounding, now cross the arms the other way. So there's opening and closing. Keep spiraling the inner thighs out. You can do this as many times as you want to. I'm going to make this my last one, opening and then allowing the spine to come to neutral. On an in-breath, press through your feet so the legs lengthen. On an out-breath, so it's a double blow of an out-breath, the legs bend twice, inhale up. So we can add arms up to a T. So really warming up in the thighs and the hips. We can add on a little bit. I might come out of camera shot. So after this double knee bounce, you come up into kite. You fall back down, come up to kite, fall back down. So it's a balance and then a fall. It's quite lovely. So double blow of the exhale with the double knee bounce. You're using that outer hip, very cardio, but you're using the fascial spring of the legs to bring you up into a side balance. One more each side. And then double knee bounce, slow lengthening of arms. Come back to that knee bend, relaxing the arms down. The legs might now be a little wider, you can always widen them. And you're going to start to bend and straighten alternate legs. Oh, I need to let my breath settle after that fascial recoil move. Lovely. So as you do this, maybe start to take the bottom back. So you fold in hip flexion. You can always have hands on bricks, of course. And when that knee bends, pick up the heel to stretch through the sole of the foot, come to the other side, do the same heel lift. So we're just adding on. So the feet just kind of feel like they're walking, you're stretching through the toe flexors, plantar fascia of the foot. Lovely. And we're going to come to a static stretch here. So I've got my right heel lifted and I'm bringing my bottom down. And again, you might want hands on bricks if the floor's not accessible for you. That left inner thigh spirals out. Try and pick up that right heel so it's really high, so you're really working through the toe joints. Not that that's necessary for Gomukhasana legs, it's just a bit of an extra. And then come to the other side. That left heel picks up, drop the bottom down. Right thigh rolls out, tailbone nice and long so that lower back stays nice and open. So from this position, you're going to turn yourself around to look at the short end of your mat so that we're coming into a lunge position. Now keep that front foot turned out and that back leg is long. And again, you might want to have bricks under the hands. It might be that you want to bring that back knee down, and it might be that you want to bring the top of the foot to the floor. So I'm going to come up, stay in this high lunge, tuck the pubic bone under. So as you breathe out, you come into that flexion. Really think about pressing through the ground. So you lift up, and then on the inhalation, drop the hips down, forwards, lengthen belly, sternum, heart. So exhale, tuck tailbone under, rounding, press through the earth to lift you up. And the inhale, you continue to press, but you draw the hands towards your back foot so that you can lengthen the front body a little more. Allow the spine to be neutral. You're going to step that right foot forwards, Malasana, and it might be that your body allows you to have the hands in prayer. If it doesn't, hold on to the sides of the mat and actually pull the mat away from the feet. If the heels are lifted, you can always put props under the heels. So nice open hip position with the tailbone tucked, chin to chest, you can breathe into back body. So hold that for as long as you choose to, definitely a minute. So I'm going to move out a little quicker so that we can come to that other side. So I've got my front foot turned out, that rounding and extending, just opening in that front hip, as well as other places you'll be feeling a nice stretch. Also strength building, especially in the supporting arms. Lovely. And from this position, we're not going to come through to garland pose Malasana. We're going to step back into plank. You can always hold that if you wanted to, bringing the knees down so that you're all fours. So I'm just going to turn around from this all fours position. We move towards Gomukhasana legs. You might want to have some props nearby so that your bottom might need to be raised. So it might be that the bottom doesn't come between the legs. So you therefore need to raise your seat. So inner knees come together. Cross, I'm going to cross the left leg over my right leg. Make a V with my feet. And then bring the bottom down, but come back up. So bottom down. You're just feeling the stretch to the hips, the buttocks, and whether the knees are welcoming this or not. Also ankles, they might not like this, so change the angle of the ankles. It might be that you have to come onto the outside edge of the feet, so just play around a little bit. And so for me, I need a prop. It might be, you can have a high prop if you want to, and it's a bit pretzel-like. So you've got knees stacked, and we won't do Gomukhasana arms, but you can add that if you wanted to. What you might want to do is take your weight forwards. That increases the stretch to the buttocks and the hips. And if the knee, especially that bottom knee, wasn't welcoming this, or the ankles, because the front of the ankles are stretched, you can always lengthen through that bottom leg. You can either keep the top leg kind of nice and relaxed, the hips open, or bring the sole of the foot to the floor if the ankle wasn't happy. And to get that stretch into the buttock and the glutes, you would pull the inner knee, so I've got the left knee towards the right armpit. Lovely. And remember, repeat that to the other side. Because you're working both sides, just notice what side welcomes Gomukhasana more. And any posture that you do, whether it's a slow movement or a quick movement, you're always checking in. Only give your body what it welcomes. And wherever you are, enjoy your practice. Namaste.